everyone, I am Dr. Ankita Shah. Today I will demonstrate the popliteal fossa. It is a diamond shaped depression at the back of the knee. Coming to the boundaries of popliteal fossa, this diamond shaped area, this is a schematic diagram. It is bounded medially, superomedially by the semimembranosus and the semitendinosus muscle. Superolaterally by the long head and the short head of the biceps femoris. Inferomedially by the medial head of gastrocnemius. Inferolaterally by the lateral head of gastrocnemius and the plantaris muscle. The roof of the popliteal fossa is formed by the deep fascia, which is also known as popliteal fascia. The floor of the popliteal fossa is formed by the popliteal surface of the tibia bone, the oblique popliteal ligament, fascia covering the popliteus muscle and the upper part of posterior surface of the tibia bone. The floor of popliteal fossa is pierced by middle genicular vessels and nerve, and it is also pierced by genicular branch of posterior division of obturator nerve. The roof of the popliteal fossa is pierced by the small saphenous vein and posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. Now let us see the structures in the cadaver. For the dissection of the popliteal fossa, the first incision is given at the junction of upper 2/3 and lower 1/3 of the thigh. This is the first transverse incision. The second transverse incision is given at the junction of upper 1/4 and lower 3/4 of the leg. Third incision is a vertical incision starting from the first incision to the second incision. Now the skin is reflected along the skin incisions. Now once we reflect the skin, we will get the superficial fascia. The superficial fascia contains many structures including the small saphenous vein. Then there is the sural nerve, which is formed by the union of sural nerve, which is a branch of the tibial nerve, sural communicating nerve, which is a branch of common peroneal nerve. The superficial structure also includes some lymph vessels. Now let us see the structures. I have left behind some part of the superficial fascia. Now this superficial fascia, as we can see here, some portion of the small saphenous vein can be seen. This is the small saphenous vein which will terminate into the popliteal vein. So this portion I have left behind of the superficial fascia, and this is the small saphenous vein. This is the sural nerve which arises from the tibial nerve, and this is the communicating branch of sural nerve. These two will unite to form the proper sural nerve. So this is the branch of tibial nerve and this is the communicating branch from the common peroneal nerve. The other superficial structure in the nerve also includes the posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Then coming to the deep fascia, I have removed the deep fascia so that we can see the contents of the popliteal fossa. The contents of the popliteal fossa includes the popliteal vessels, that is popliteal artery and popliteal vein. Then the terminal branches of sciatic nerve, that is tibial nerve and common peroneal nerve. Also it includes the termination of the small saphenous vein. Then genicular branch of posterior division of obturator nerve. There are popliteal lymph nodes and popliteal fat. Now let us see the structures one by one. The most superficial one here is the nerves. Now, before we go to the contents, let us appreciate the boundary of the popliteal fossa. So, this is the diamond shaped popliteal fossa. Coming to the upper boundary, this is lateral and this is medial. So, superolaterally, this is the long head of biceps femoris and this is the short head of the biceps femoris. So, this is the long head and this is the short head. Superomedially, this is semi-tendinosus and this is semi-membranosus. So, let us revise the upper boundary again. This is long head and short head of biceps femoris. This is semi-tendinosus and this is semi-membranosus. Coming to the lower boundary, in the lower part, medially there is this is the medial head of gastrocnemius. This is the medial head of gastrocnemius and inferolaterally this is the lateral head of gastrocnemius. This lateral head of gastrocnemius, along with that another muscle which forms this inferolateral boundary is the plantaris. So, this is the plantaris muscle. So, inferolaterally, this medially is the medial head of gastrocnemius, laterally lateral head of gastrocnemius and this is the plantaris muscle. This was regarding the boundary. Now coming to the contents, within the contents from superficial to deep, there will be the nerve, then vein, then artery. Let us first come to the nerve. Near the superior angle of this popliteal fossa, the sciatic nerve divides into its terminal branches. This is the sciatic nerve. We can see here its terminal division. This is the tibial nerve, which in popliteal fossa also known as medial popliteal nerve. This is the common peroneal nerve, which in popliteal fossa also known as lateral popliteal nerve. And within the content we will get the branches of these nerves. The next content is the vein. This is the popliteal vein and within its contents we will get the tributaries of the vein. And the deepest content is the popliteal artery. These popliteal vessels arise from the fifth osseo-aponeurotic opening of the adductor magnus. As we can see here closely, if you look here closely, this is the adductor magnus muscle. This is the fifth osseo-aponeurotic opening from where these popliteal vessels are arising. This is the popliteal vein and this is the popliteal artery and this is the fifth osseo-aponeurotic opening. Now, let us see the other muscles that we can see here. The other muscles, this is the two heads of gastrocnemius, this is the soleus muscle. In the floor, we can see this is the popliteus muscle. This muscle is the popliteus muscle. Now, let us see the structures one by one. Coming to the nerve, this is the tibial nerve. This tibial nerve will provide various branches which includes cutaneous branches like this one. This is the sural nerve which is one of the cutaneous branch. Then it provides muscular branches which we will discuss one by one. It will provide vascular branches as well as articular branches. The articular branches will supply the medial side of the knee joint. Now, this tibial nerve muscular branches, let us see one by one. This is the muscular branch to the medial head of gastrocnemius. This is the nerve to the soleus. This is the soleus muscle, this is the nerve to the soleus. This is the nerve to lateral head of gastrocnemius. Now, regarding the tibial nerve, all its branches arise from its lateral side except this one, that is the nerve to medial head of gastrocnemius. Therefore, the dangerous side for the tibial nerve is its lateral side and the safe one is the medial side. Because in medial side there is only one branch, therefore less chance of injury is there. Now, the other branch is the nerve to the popliteus. Now, all these branches, that is the nerve to soleus, the nerve to lateral head of gastrocnemius, nerve to the plantaris will pass superficial to the plantaris muscle. Only the nerve to popliteus will pass beneath it. So, let us see the nerve to popliteus. This is the plantaris tendon and this branch is passing beneath the, if you look here closely, this branch, this is the nerve to popliteus passing beneath the plantaris tendon to supply the muscle beneath, that is the popliteus. So, let us revise the muscular branches again. This is the nerve to medial head of gastrocnemius, nerve to lateral head of gastrocnemius, nerve to soleus muscle, and this is the nerve to popliteus passing beneath the plantaris tendon. Now, let us come to the common fibular nerve. This is the common fibular nerve. This is the main nerve. From this common fibular nerve, we will get two cutaneous branches. This is the sural communicating nerve and this is the lateral cutaneous nerve to the cuff. So, this was regarding the nerve. Now, let us come to the vascular supply. This is the popliteal vein. The popliteal vein will have its tributaries. One of the tributary is the small saphenous vein. The other tributaries will accompany the branches of the artery. Coming to the popliteal artery, the popliteal artery is a continuation of the femoral artery from the fifth osteoaponeurotic opening up to the lower border of the popliteus muscle. This popliteal artery will provide various branches including cutaneous branch, that is sural branch, articular branches or genicular branches, muscular branches, and this popliteal artery course, if we see, it passes obliquely and the course of the popliteal vein is less oblique in comparison to the popliteal artery. Now, if we see the relation between them, the popliteal vein in the upper part lies lateral to the artery. In the middle part, it crosses by passing superficial to the artery, and in the lower part it comes to the medial side of the artery. This is the artery and this is the vein coming to the medial side. So, let us see the course again. In the upper part lateral, in the middle part it is crossing superficial, and in the lower part the vein is coming medial to the artery. This is the artery and this is the vein. Regarding the nerve relation, the tibial nerve is almost running superficially in the midline of the popliteal fossa. Where it is superficial? It is superficial to the popliteal vessels. It lies lateral to the popliteal vessels in the upper part. At the back of knee, it is crossing superficial to the popliteal vessels. Then in the lower part, it is coming medially. This tibial nerve will enter the posterior crural compartment of the leg by passing beneath the origin of the soleus, that is from the soleal line. It will pass beneath it. As we can see here, this is the soleus and it is passing beneath the soleal arch of origin of the soleus muscle to enter the posterior compartment of the leg. The other contents here are the popliteal lymph nodes, as well as you can see here there is huge amount of fat present in this fossa. Now let us see the floor. This upper part is made by the tibial, upper part is made by the femur popliteal surface. The lower part is made by the upper posterior part of the tibia. The other contents that we can see here, just behind the knee, you can appreciate the condyles here. This shiny portion, if you look here closely, this is the oblique popliteal ligament. This one is the oblique popliteal ligament. Coming to the lower part, in the lower part, this is the fascia covering the popliteus muscle. This is the fascia covering the popliteus muscle, and this is the popliteus muscle from where I have removed the fascia. Both this fascia covering popliteus muscle and the oblique popliteal ligament, these are tendinous expansion of the semimembranosus muscle. Which one is the semimembranosus? This is the semimembranosus muscle. Now let us come to some of the applied part. If there is injury of the tibial nerve, then the foot will be in dorsiflexed position and everted. If there is injury to the common peroneal nerve, then it will lead to foot drop and the foot is inverted and in adducted position. Now let us revise the contents quickly. For this, look closely to this diagram. First, if we see the contents, there is the terminal division of sciatic nerve, this is the tibial nerve and this is the common peroneal nerve. The tibial nerve, as we can see here, it is providing the muscular branches, like one branch to the medial head of gastrocnemius, similarly branches to the lateral head of gastrocnemius, plantaris. Only the nerve to the popliteus will pass beneath the popliteus muscle to supply the muscle from its deep surface. Also it provides branch to the soleus. The communicating branch is the sural nerve. This is the cutaneous branch, and this sural nerve will get a communicating branch from the common peroneal nerve and they will unite to form the sural nerve. This tibial nerve then will run beneath the soleal arch to enter the leg. This was regarding the nerve. Now coming to the popliteal vein, its tributaries are the running along with the branches of popliteal artery, and one of the main tributary is the small saphenous vein. Coming to the popliteal artery, this popliteal artery and popliteal vein are continuation of femoral vessels arising from the fifth osteoaponeurotic opening of the adductor magnus. The popliteal artery will provide genicular branches like the superior genicular, medial genicular, superior lateral genicular, middle genicular, similarly inferior. If we see here the branches, this is the superior medial, this is inferior medial, superior lateral, inferior lateral genicular branches, as well as there is a middle genicular artery. This popliteal artery will run up to the lower border of the popliteus where it will divide into anterior tibial artery, posterior tibial artery. This posterior tibial artery will give rise to peroneal artery. Now let us see the structures again in the cadaver. The superficial structures that we can see here, this is the superficial fascia, this is the small saphenous vein, this is sural nerve, sural communicating nerve, which both unite to form and continuous as the sural nerve. Coming to the boundary, supero-laterally is the long head of biceps and short head of biceps femoris, superomedially semitendinosus, semimembranosus, infero-laterally lateral head of gastrocnemius and the plantaris, infero-medially medial head of gastrocnemius. Coming to the contents, the sciatic nerve gives its terminal branches tibial nerve and common peroneal nerve. Then there is the popliteal vein, popliteal artery, both of them arising from the fifth osteoaponeurotic opening of the adductor magnus. Coming to the branches of the tibial nerve, this tibial nerve is going beneath the soleal arch, this is the soleus muscle. The branches it is giving, the muscular branches, one from the medial side, that is to the medial head of gastrocnemius, this is to the lateral head of gastrocnemius, the soleal branch, and one branch will run beneath the plantaris, that is the nerve to popliteus. This is the plantaris tendon, this is the nerve to popliteus. Where is the popliteus? I am reflecting it. This is the popliteus and this is the fascia of popliteus which covers this popliteus and it forms the lower part of the floor. And just in the floor in the back of knee, this shiny part, this is the oblique popliteal ligament. That's all for today. Thank you.